Hello traders and welcome to the London Forex Broadsheet's daily wrap of the markets for Wednesday, August 27th. The euro rose after European Central Bank Council member Axel Weber provided a temporary boost when he said that talk about interest rate cuts from the ECB is premature and that a rate hike may be needed once the economic outlook brightens. The point here seems to be that the ECB officials, like Mr. Bernanke, are depending on a slowdown in economic growth to help curb inflationary pressures, and it therefore would not make sense to do something which would mitigate this effect. In the move from 1.4050, the 1-hour chart is showing the stair steps down could also lead to moves higher. We are seeing the first exponential crossover since the 22nd of August, and if that follows through, we may get a test of 1.4900. The cable retested the 2-year low at 1.8300, but again found support as fears regarding a recession in the UK weighed against the pound during Wednesday's trading session. We note that a relatively rare occurrence was seen in that the pound lost to the dollar even though the euro was modestly higher. While it's too early to say that a trend has begun, exports from the UK to the euro area do go on sale when the euro appreciates on the pound. Sterling has lost just over 10% to the dollar from the peak seen on March 13th. There is no relief in sight for the pound against the dollar, and this 1-hour chart really does look helpless in its efforts to break long. Diverging exponential lines and a 23% Fibonacci level at 1.8400 add to a headache for anybody considering buying this dip. The Aussie advanced on the day as crude futures gained nearly $2 in New York. Commodities are still expected to decline going forward, since it is likely to see growth decelerations in the US, UK, Euro area, and Japan over the next several quarters. And this will also have a negative impact on China, which is Australia's largest export customer. The Aussie has lost about 13 cents to the dollar from its peak hit on July 15th. As commodities declined and speculation grew, the RBA will reduce borrowing costs at its September meeting. The 1-hour chart is trying to find a base, and may show some bullish momentum, but that is all a long way off in reality. A market signal that the Aussie bull is up and running will be when 0.8800 has been broken. In the meantime, the Fibonacci levels from the drop lower can now provide targets. The loonie fell for a second day when the prices of crude oil, gold, silver, copper, and platinum advanced. The pair has risen 1.3% since August 15th, but has still declined 3.9% since the July 11th crude high of $147.27 a barrel. Traders will be paying close attention to Canada's GDP report on Friday, as the Bank of Canada is being tipped to decrease its main lending rate on September 3rd. The 1-hour chart shows that the pair is stuck looking for direction in the near term, but also in a great-looking short momentum swing overall. A break either way could easily happen, especially with US GDP numbers on Thursday, but this chart looks to favor the short side of things. The Swissy declined slightly for the day but finished well off its lows as traders in New York moved into equities and away from the safety of US debt on Tuesday. Resistance at 1.1030 was briefly surpassed but couldn't hold yesterday, and the pair seems to be stuck at 1.0990. The 1-hour chart reveals a crossover of the exponential lines, and that may just signal a test of the Fibonacci channels at 1.1000 and 1.0930. This could get explosive if the dollar moves heavily off of GDP numbers on Thursday. The yen chart looks much the same as the Swissy after traders bought stocks on Wall Street even as oil rose. Traders may be thinking oil's pop is a temporary effect from Hurricane Gustav, and that without a supply disruption, slowing demand will take commodities lower. The chart is moving sideways, unconvincing and bland. Next. On the upcoming economic calendar, we have two top-tier releases scheduled for tomorrow. At 2 a.m. we have the nationwide house price index from the UK, and at 0830 we have the preliminary GDP out of the US. In Asian equities, the Nikkei declined 25 points or 0.2% to close at 12,752. The Australian S&P ASX rose 3 points or 0.07% to close at 5,011. In European stocks, the German DAX declined 19 points or 0.31% to close at 6321, while the UK FTSE gained 57 points or 1.05% to close at 5528. On Wall Street, at the close of floor trading on the New York Stock Exchange, the Dow was at 11,502 after gaining 89 points or 0.79%. The S&P closed at 1281, up 10 points or 0.8%, while the Nasdaq finished trading at 2382 with a gain of 20 points or 0.87%. Crude oil for October delivery gained $1.87 or 1.6% to close at $118.14 a barrel. Gold futures for December delivery rose $5.90 or 0.7% to close at $834 an ounce. In Treasuries, the 2-year notes yield fell 3 basis points to 2.29%. The 10-year notes yield was little changed at 3.77%. Overall, the dollar fell against the commodity-linked currencies as oil rose, but did well against currencies that trade on sentiment, or when equities rise. A better-than-expected report on durable goods orders showed that spending increased 1.3% in July, and that non-defense capital goods shipments, along with business inventories, are making a positive contribution to the Q3 GDP. This concludes the London Forex Broadsheet's daily wrap of the markets. We appreciate you making us part of your trading day.
All contents of the LFB are for informational purposes only and should not be used as a replacement for research by an individual investor, trader, or licensed investment professional. Neither the LFB nor any of its affiliates shall be liable for any errors, omissions, or for any actions taken in response to the information contained herein. We hereby make no representations or warranties regarding the accuracy of any information contained in this broadcast or on our site. Forex market trading involves special risks and may not be suitable for everyone. Each investor or trader should assess their financial situation and risk tolerance before proceeding. Copyright 2007, LFB Services, LLC. All rights reserved.